Good evening, everybody. As they said, my name is Chris Raymond, and I'm a CF patient. First off, I'd like to thank all of you for being here tonight and supporting such a great cause. It's events like this that pave the way for groundbreaking research and innovations that make CF care possible. As some of you know, the foundation lost its leader, Ms. Sabrina Watt, this past summer to her own battle with the deadly disease. It's been very inspiring to see the work that Sabrina was passionate about continue without any interruption. I'm proud of how the CF Foundation has pulled together, and we all know that Sabrina is extremely proud of them. There were so many inspiring attributes about Sabrina, but one that stuck out to me was her selflessness. And all that she was going through in her life, her main focus was to find a cure for CF. So I was determined to get up here tonight and not talk about myself. But someone came to me and said, Sabrina, we want you to tell your story. So Sabrina, this one's for you. I in no means want to speak on behalf of any other CF patients. Many out there are affected by the disease in much stronger ways than I am. For those of you who don't know, cystic fibrosis is a hereditary disease that causes the body to produce thick and sticky mucus that can clog the lungs and obstruct the pancreas. Only an estimated 30,000 children and adults in the U.S. have cystic fibrosis. Not exactly enough population for the pharmaceutical companies out there to be gang-ho about finding a cure for it. So in comes the CF Foundation. The foundation funds life-saving research and works to provide access to quality specialized care and effective treatments for people with the disease. So my case is a little unusual, as I was not diagnosed with the disease until I was 12 years old. Most cases are diagnosed early in childhood and nowadays at birth. I had severe stomach pains for the first 12 years of my life, and my body could not retain the essential nutrients and vitamins needed from a normal diet. I started taking pancreatic enzymes as soon as I was diagnosed, and it made a world of difference right away. With the help of the foundation, a massive move was made in the mid-90s to create awareness for the disease, and eventually a push to perform newborn screenings for early detection of the disease was made. This was a major accomplishment to ensure that patients started receiving the treatments and nourishments required at an early age. So, about a week after I was diagnosed, they sent us to see a CF specialist, and this is a day I'll never forget. I overheard the doctor telling my parents that I would not make it into my 30s, play high school basketball, go to college, get married, have children, and all of the other things that we all expect to do in life. The life expectancy then was only the early 20s. Nowadays, the life expectancy is the late 30s and even beyond. I was determined after this appointment to accomplish all of those feats that they said would never happen. So I began to work hard on the basketball court, and I made the basketball team. Now my sights were set on college. I went to college and enjoyed way too much of it.
Hear, hear.
The next thing that the doctor said I would never do was get married. Well, let's just say he had no idea the amazing woman that was out there waiting for me.
Hear, hear.
I met my wife, Kara, and she's been the rock for this disease ever since.
Wow.
We had a rough start of it as I came down with a double lung infection our first year of marriage. I became weaker and weaker on a daily basis. I went to work one day, and I could not even make it from the parking lot to the office. I knew something was wrong at this point, and I ended up in the emergency room, and they put me on an extensive 18-month antibiotic treatment. My 30th birthday was just around the corner, and it's one that I'll never forget. Another goal checked off the list, and a big milestone in the life of a CFer. I was able to overcome the lung infections, and shortly after, I received an email that a new drug, Kalydeco, had been approved by the FDA. For the first time in the history of CF, there was actually a drug that treated the underlying cause of the disease. As soon as I found out, I reflected back to that first appointment, and I thought, that doctor may be wrong after all. We actually may cure this thing in my lifetime. Soon after that, I was approved to take the drug, and have been taking it ever since. I've always had pretty mild effects from the disease, but I could tell a difference in my energy level, and I was not sweating out tons of salt like I was before. So at this point in my life, there were only 2 of those original goals that I needed to fulfill. Well, there's only one left now. My wife and I just welcomed twins, Lexi and Luke, 11 months ago. I can't help but think that this is due to people like you sitting in this room, raising critical funds for this disease so that patients can live a normal life. I would not be where I am today without the support of my family, my wife, my friends, the CF Foundation, and all of its supporters, all of you guys. My story is not the focus of why we are here tonight. It is just to give you examples of what you and the CF Foundation is doing is working. Nearly every CF drug available today was made possible because of Foundation support. Through its efforts, research to find a cure is more prominent than ever. And with your help, we'll eventually strike that last goal off my list, a cure for cystic fibrosis. Thank you for being here tonight.